This is my absolute favorite way to use all the leftovers from the holidays. In a large pan, I'm going to add some olive oil and saute some onions, celery, and carrots until tender. Then add that turkey and some garlic with the gravy. Add some frozen peas and canned corn if I have it. I didn't this time. Stir that up and I'm going to heat it until it's really bubbly. And then after that, I'm going to add some mashed potatoes on top and fully coat it until it's all covered, and then heat that in the oven at 375 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes until it's nice and golden brown on top. And look at that. This is going to be one of your all-time favorite leftover recipes. You have got to give this one a try. It's so delicious. I found this recipe for creamy turkey pasta and I decided to try it with my leftover Thanksgiving turkey. It normally calls for ground turkey, but I thought, well, I'll give it a try. First, I heated up the olive oil and sauteed my leftover turkey and added some garlic and then melted some butter and a little bit of flour. And that's just to kind of make this a little bit more thick and creamy. Then I added some milk and some chicken broth. Mix that in gradually so that way it wouldn't cause any lumps with the flour. Added some mustard and nutmeg. Now, this is the part where I feel like I should have added a little bit more seasonings of some sort, but I'm not really sure what it's missing. Then I added some sharp white cheddar, and now I'm thinking maybe I needed to add more types of cheese like Gruyere or Gouda. Then I added some frozen peas and let that bubble until everything was heated through about 5 minutes, and added some of my cooked pasta. I know you're probably going to give me some side eye here. This is just veggie pasta made with zucchini, but it was pretty good, just missing a little seasoning. Don't forget to save the bones and the skin from your turkey this Thanksgiving or holiday, because you're going to be able to make some really delicious turkey stock with this. I like to add some veggie scraps too from all the things that I cooked, just potato skins, carrot skins, things like that. Top it with water, then let that simmer for a couple of hours. Now I'm going to be making mine like a pho, so I added some cloves, cinnamon, and ginger, and just let that simmer for 20 minutes more. And in the meantime, I sauteed my carrots, onions, and celery in butter until they were nice and soft. Then I added some leftover turkey that was already cooked and shredded, gave that a good stir. Then I strained my broth. Just be careful that you take out those big pieces of bones and things so that way they don't fall all over the place before you actually strain the broth. After that, I just seasoned it with a little bit of salt, and since I'm making a pho version of this, I added a little bit of sugar as well. Then I cooked some noodles in the meantime, added those to some bowls, topped it with the broth, and there you go. I hope you enjoy. Here's an idea for all that leftover ham, or if you have deli ham on hand, you're going to lightly flour a surface and take a container of crescent rolls, take that out and separate those into rectangles. You're going to pinch the perforations so that way they're sealed, and roll them just a little bit so they're a little bit more flat and even. Then you're going to top that with some Dijon mustard. Make sure it's all fully coated, and then add your cheese. I only had pepper jack, but I recommend cheddar or Swiss too. Really, any cheese that you have on hand would probably work just fine. Then you're going to place the ham on top and just make sure it's almost fully covered, and then roll it up. And you can pinch the ends if you like. It's not going to make a huge difference. Then you're going to slice it into about 5 or 6 pieces and put that in an 8 by 11 casserole dish. It's going to look like this. Then I like to top it with some Italian seasoning. I like Mrs. Dash because it has no salt. Then I'm going to bake that at 375 for about 25 to 30 minutes, and they come out looking like this. Oh my gosh. I love to make this 15 bean soup when I have a ham bone left after the holidays. First, I'll take all the beans and put it in a large pot, cover it with 8 cups of water, and put it in the refrigerator overnight so it can soak up all the water. Take that out, and then I have to drain the beans and then put 8 more cups of water in. Then I start adding the other ingredients. First, I'll start with some chopped onion, put that on the stove, and add my ham bone in with whatever leftover ham that I have. And then I'll set that to boil, turn it down to a simmer, and cover and cook that for about 2 hours. Then I'm going to remove the ham bone, take out all the extra ham, and I'll place that back in later. I'll add the diced tomatoes, some chili powder, garlic, and lemon juice, and then put that on for another half hour or so. Then right before serving, I add this little flavor packet that comes with the beans, stir it on up, let it cook 1 more minute, and then that's it. Super easy soup, and it tastes delicious, and it's super filling. Gotta try this one. I found these cranberry jalapeno meatballs at Costco, and I wanted to make something really fun with them. So to my slow cooker, I added a can of cranberry sauce, a can of tomato paste, the juice of half of a lemon, some garlic powder, and some paprika, then some kosher salt, a little bit of brown sugar, some vinegar. I used apple cider vinegar, a little bit of honey, and of course some sliced jalapeno. I just did 2 here. Then I gave everything a really good stir so it was nice and combined, and then I added those meatballs and also gave that a really good stir. And I just made sure that the sides were also scraped down so the tomato sauce wouldn't burn. And then I just put that on low for 4 hours, and I gave that a stir a couple times in between then, and this would be a really great appetizer. But we actually ended up eating this on rolls, but you can also serve it on rice. I definitely recommend giving this one a try. I'll be making these meatballs from scratch pretty soon, so stay tuned for more on that, and I hope you enjoy.